What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more hardcore, and we're back with another redo of a reaction I did on my old channel. Again, it's just some of the old videos. If there wasn't like a really sort of just good moment that was like, oh, you know what, I want to preserve that because, you know, I don't want to have to try to like recreate that reaction. If there's not one of those moments, then I feel like the fact that the old videos were compressed both in terms of the video and the audio, it sort of does beg for a lot of them to be redone. So again, I'll be keeping some of them. There's still dozens that I'm going to upload on my new channel that will just come from my old channel, even with the compression. But there's some that I wanted to redo. This record I think is worth redoing. This is the first Gabbadome. I reacted, and it was one of my old reactions to Rule the Nation. I just posted this on my channel, my new channel, yesterday, but I am going to redo reactions to the other two tunes. So again, this is from Gabbadome 1. Shout out to Paolo and his label, and he goes by the name X-Fly, as you can see here. We're going to listen to a tune called One of My Satellites, which samples that movie, The Brain from Planet Aurus, which is a like mid-1950s movie. And it's sort of this old school, kind of low budget sci-fi movie, but it has a really famous sample that's been used by a number of people. I mentioned Ben 9mm on Acid Forever in another reaction very recently. That track uses it. There's an old tune by Buzz Fuzz called Jealousy's a Motherfucker. That track samples it. But yeah, so this is another track that samples it, and I really do love using that sample. It's sort of like, you know, paying homage to a classic tradition, and it's, again, a really great sample to use because I just love samples from old sort of 50s and 60s movies that are just, you know, otherwise kind of campy and obscure, but they often will have like lines here or there that taken out of context can work really well. So shout out to that. But here we go. This is One of My Satellites from X-Fly on his label Gabbadome, and this is 2020. And this record, because they're hand numbered, I should point out, is number 37 of, I think, 100. I think there's 100 of each of them. But yeah, here we go. One of My Satellites, which samples The Brain from Planet Aurus. I think it's 33, but nope. So let's get a restart there. I like that clap rhythm.
I'm sure there is going to be more than one unpleasant surprise before we're done.
Love that melody, or, you know, frantic, aggressive synth line. It's got a lot of like sort of constricted energy. And the sort of high percussion sonics like over the heavier, grittier stuff. It's just the perfect mix. And that clap rhythm, I like the slightly unconventional clap rhythm.
Sure there is going to be more than one
Sharp.
unpleasant surprise before we're done.
Like a laser tractor beam sort of feel. Acid tractor beam.
That's how it's going to be.
There's the sample, and that's how it's going to be. And there's that.
One of my satellites.
You know, it sounds like it could be a horse. It sounds like it could be one of those like sort of old funk and soul like horn samples that were then used in like hip hop in the 90s, like Funky Worm. Ugh. I love that line, or that sample, by the way. Let me tell you one thing. I'm gonna go back to that. I apologize.
Let me tell you one thing.
Drum and bass rhythms coming back in at that bar transition.
my satellites.
It's just rocking. It's, you get the chance to mix hardcore in your life. It's a very fun thing. But you gotta work, because like, DJing in general, it's easy to lose yourself in the headphones and just, yeah, I'm grooving, oh shit, I gotta mix out. In hardcore, you don't have a lot of time. You gotta work. Acid techno, especially acid trance, Goa trance, some tracks are like 11 minutes. You know, you could go like make a sandwich, come back, and still have time to mix out. But hardcore, you gotta move. The laser just spraying like any living thing in the track. You're one of my satellites. Let me tell you one thing. I just love that.
My satellites.
That gritty synth, aggressive line.
My satellites.
That clap rhythm coming back.
Let me tell you one thing.
You could start mixing out there, but there's enough going on here, you could still wait. Now maybe you've like, you got the like, you know, the symbol of the new track coming in, and then right here you might have like a low end switch moment where you take it down in this tune and bring it up in the new track.
After I'm gone, your Earth will be free to live out its miserable span of existence. It's one of my satellites.
And
That's how it's going to be.
yeah. Brilliant, love it. Honestly, the sort of style and old school gabber sound pursued by this label is like one of my favorite things in recent years. You know, so I mentioned in a lot of videos on my old channel that there's like 3 labels of hardcore that I was like really following and pursuing, and continue to do so. Overdrive or Overdrive Limited by my friend Roberto Formek, Mokum, and Cenobite. But you know, it's like No Pizza Rave and now whatchamacallit, Gabbadome. I really do think I have to put them in there. So it's basically up to like a 5 label pantheon now. But yeah, this label very quickly entered like my favorites from the moment I heard it a few months back. Shout out to Maurice, Wicked Triple X. It was trying to find more of his tunes on vinyl that led me to discover this label. So again, shout out to Paolo for the label, shout out to Maurice for his amazing tunes, including on this label. And yeah, we're going to get back to some of those. There's 1 or 2 tunes I reacted to from Maurice that I think I might keep. It just felt like the reaction was good in the moment, but there's also 1 or 2 I might want to redo, so keep an eye out for Wicked Triple X reactions, whether an older one or a new, like redone one, or just a new track. I think there's at least a couple tracks from him that I have on vinyl that I didn't react to on the old channel, so it'd be a new reaction. But either way, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's another tune that you'd like to hear on the label. I have all 6 records so far. So yeah, shout out to everyone who's been listening and watching to these hardcore reactions. I really do appreciate it. Again, the old channel, there was like more interaction initially from the techno and the hardcore people. Some of them I think have found their way over here. I'm still trying to, you know, on Facebook and other places like, hey, I have a new channel, you know, come check me out, guys. But yeah, if any of the people who were following me on the old channel are here now, please do let me know. And shout out to anyone who's watching, wherever you've come from. So yeah, thank you for listening and watching. I will see you next time. Peace.